Okay, so as mentioned as on the previous video, I'm doing a Honda Clarity. This is a 2019 Honda Clarity, and we're putting the high voltage battery in this thing. Apparently, this battery has been back ordered for the last 2 years. So this customer's been driving with this light on the dash for the last 2 years. It charges up and drives normally. It just has this light here. It says power system. So 2 years to get a battery for this Clarity. So back in the day, you couldn't actually buy or purchase the Honda Clarity. You can only lease this car. But now in the used market, people wanted a nice plug-in battery electric vehicle. So yeah, these people own these cars now. So yeah, it took 2 years to try to get this one battery. So it was way before I even started working here. So it's I have no idea what's been going on with this. So yeah, all I wanted to do was to just do the repair on this thing, and that way I've experienced how to change one of these batteries on these Honda Clarities, just for my own personal information, and for next time, for future reference, I'll know how to do one and see how simple it is. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to disconnect the 12-volt battery. I'm going to have to remove all the kids' seats back there, and then disconnect the service plug back there, which is underneath the seat, and then I'm going to go and grab that giant battery right in front of our entrance. So anyways, I'll go ahead and do all that first, and then I'll bring you back. Oh, before I do that, this car has 69,261 kilometers, so I think that's about 40,000 miles roughly. But yeah, let's get right to it. All right, so I disconnected the 12-volt battery. In case you don't know, your Honda Clarity actually has 3 cooling systems, and the one I have to open up so I can allow the coolant to drain out of the battery and the charger in the back is this guy. So you got a coolant reservoir that's right here. So if you have a code for, I think, coolant flow, I can't remember what code it is, and you're topping up that one because you think it's only because of that one. No, you have one that's actually underneath this cover here. So you have to actually remove all the clips, right, from this cover, right, that sits in here, and nobody ever knows about it. So yeah, now you know. So you actually have to remove this to access this reservoir for the high voltage battery. And then there's also a bleed screw on top of the battery for you to bleed the air out. And yeah, so your Honda Clarity has this cooling system for the battery, and then the cooling system, I guess, for the inverter converter assembly, and then you got the cooling system for your gasoline engine. So now I'm just going to go into the back, remove the kid seat, remove the back seat, and then access that service plug. Okay, so we have the service plugs disconnected, right? And later on, when we put the new battery, that's the bleeder screw for bleeding the air out of the cooling system for the battery. All right, so we're underneath the car. What we're gonna have to be removing is this plate, right? It's probably structural, but other than that, we got to remove this plastic, this more of this underbody covering. So you're basically, the battery is just this entire bottom here, and then you have your hoses for your coolant. That's right here that we got to disconnect. A couple of high voltage cables that I think might be in the front. Don't quote me on that because this is the first time I'm doing one of these. And then there's a plate here too that I think I got to remove as well. So let's get rid of all this stuff down here, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Plus I got the table over here to drop it out of the car, So I got all these underbody covering, brace and everything removed. It looks like the connections that we got to disconnect is this orange wire here. You got all the coolant lines that run from the back of here all the way to connection over here to the battery for the cooling system for the battery. And then you got all of this other stuff right up here. You got like this connector, and then more connectors above that for the high voltage cables. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. A bunch of bolts that go around the whole battery. You gotta remove, and then we're gonna put it on that table over there to drop it down. So yeah, I don't know if we have that little a tool for, you know, lifting the battery off the table. I gotta see if we have one. Like at Hyundai, we had that tool where we gotta use the cherry picker and everything to lift the battery off the table and then put it in the crate. And then, yeah, so I don't think this battery is as heavy as the one that we were replacing in the Konas, but yeah, but a lot more stuff to disconnect, because the Kona was just like coolant lines in the front and then a couple connectors in the front, and then that's pretty much it. So just looking at it, it looks pretty okay. It's not bad. Yeah, and in case you're all wondering, this battery is covered under warranty, because it was like 2 years ago while this car was still within the warranty period. So yeah, it's also covered under warranty. And most likely they're taking this battery back, because I wanted to take it apart and then maybe use the cell for, like, you know, a solar generator for, you know, home or camping use. But I'm pretty sure they're going to take this battery back. So there are 2 more bolts. They're in the middle, which I missed. So it's this one and then that one right there. So there's 2 bolts in the center, and then I can drop the battery. All right, let's see. I think I got all the bolts out. I'm gonna do a little test drop. Yeah, maybe something's still in the front, because it's tilting. Nope, it's loose. It's just back heavy. So everything's all loose. And probably drop it down. I think the most of the weight is on the back of this battery, so I might bolt it back up and move the table further back. So I reposition it more towards the back. And there you go, the entire battery is out. This top cover is plastic. Bottom part is metal, I think. Yeah, it's metal. So top is plastic. And yeah, that's the entire battery out. It doesn't take much. A couple connectors, drain the coolant, a bunch of bolts, and yeah, all you need is a table and then a cherry picker to lift this battery off the table. So yeah. All right, so this is the giant box that this battery comes in, lithium-ion battery, but the Hyundai one is a lot bigger box. Let's just say that. And also a lot heavier. The Hyundai one's like, the Hyundai box, or the Hyundai battery is like almost 1,000 pounds. I don't know how much this one is though. I can't remember what the spec was, but I saw on the shipping container when I was at Hyundai, it said it was close to 1,000 pounds. I don't know how much this one is. But yeah, so we do not have the tool to lift this battery because Honda's so behind on EVs. Actually, they actually sent us the toolbox for the EV, but there's no tools in it. And I think the Prologue is supposed to come out this year or next year. I don't know. So nobody's really prepared. I think everybody's just signing up for the training right now, because everybody's got to get trained on the EV stuff. But yeah, anyways, so we don't have the tool for this. So I'm just gonna go find a bunch of people to help lift it off this table, and then lift the new one in the box back there onto this table. So yeah, the only one time that tool was used was the one battery that they replaced, and then that guy used it, but he doesn't work here no more. So yeah, we don't actually know where the tool is for it. So yeah, anyways, and let me get the new battery on this table and stick it in. It's not too bad. Watch, I guarantee you they left the service plug on this when they shipped it to us, because we're supposed to leave them unplugged before we send them out, just so like the two terminals up in the front that they covered up isn't live, you know. So they do this at Hyundai. Even when they ship us the battery, there's always the service plug still plugged in. So I don't know, maybe that's how they're supposed to do it, but I thought we were told we were supposed to leave the service plug unplugged. Oh yeah, there you go, it is unplugged. Okay, that feels better. Yeah, at Hyundai, they ship us the battery with the service plugs plugged in. So, yeah, at least they didn't left these ones in, because those terminals up front are going to be live. We got everybody in the shop to lift up the battery, and then we slid the skid underneath. Yeah, it was. Well, there was like what, 10 of us to lift this thing.
It was really not. Yeah, with all of us.
Yeah, we don't need the tool. So yeah, we lifted it up and we put it on this table. Now I can I can put this in the car now. So yeah, removing these batteries, they can't make it too hard, right? It just sits underneath. It just a couple connectors, drop it out, and that's it, right? So 10-hour labor, nah. If you see that quote, oh my god. But yeah, anyways, I think the hardest part about doing this battery is finding enough young guys with good backs to help lift it off the ground. But yeah, anyways, this thing's just going up. It's just I just gotta lift it up and then put all the bolts in and then reconnect all the connectors, coolant lines, and then it's basically it. And then hook up the scanner and then do the I gotta relearn the EV battery. I think that's something about the BMS. I can't remember. I gotta relook it up. But yeah, pretty simple. But yeah, I'll show you the bleeding process once I put this battery in. All right, so I installed the service plug. So this nipple here, it's only here to aid in filling the battery when you're filling up the coolant. So that's all it does. You can't crack this bleeder while you're running the scanner or your HDS to bleed the cooling system, because what's going to happen is it even says it in the scan tool not to crack these bleeders while you're running the coolant pump to bleed the air and stuff out, because it's gonna spray everywhere. So this nipple is only here for aiding in filling the battery, and that's it. So you can't have that loose or open while you're running the coolant pump. So I already filled up the reservoir up front, and then I'm just gonna crack it, and the reservoir in the front is just gonna go down, and I'm gonna fill it up again. You can hear it hissing. I can also hear I can also feel the air coming out of it too. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah. All right. And then I'm gonna go close this up because I don't want coolant to be spilled all over in here. All right. And then I'm gonna check the level in the reservoir up front. All filled up. I kind of put this thing here because if I fill it, it kind of just leaks down there. So I put it up here for the time being. But also, there are a bunch of different bleeder screws everywhere. So there's one here, and then there's one here. So I think and then the one in the battery. So there's a couple that you can help in aiding of filling the battery or your inverter or stuff like that. So yeah, back to the battery. I'm gonna crack it loose and then let this thing drain or bleed out and then fill it back up again. Okay, so bled the air out. So now I got a little bit of coolant coming out. I closed it, and yeah, you just get a little bit of a mess. So you just gotta clean that up a little bit, and then yeah, we'll top up the coolant, and then we're gonna run the coolant pump with the scan tool. Right, so I started the car, and the lights are already off. So already a good sign. All these other warning lights, it's just because I disconnected the battery, and it needs to do the initialization. But other than that, I am gonna check for software updates, but I'm pretty sure everything is up to date already, because this is probably the most recent battery, because it took almost 2 years to manufacture. I guess maybe it was being manufactured, and there's not much demand on these batteries. So yeah, so I'm just gonna check and see if there's software updates, and then we're gonna do what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to relearn the battery or something, and then we'll do the coolant bleed procedure. Now you're in the scanner. You got to go to HV battery replacement. Battery history data will be cleared. Press enter to continue. It's gonna do its thing. Turn ignition off. Turn ignition back on. And that is it for the battery replacement. Turn ignition switch back off again. Back on. And that's it. That's done for that. Now I just gotta bleed the cooling system with the I guess go to function or adjustments. I can't remember. It's one of those. Yeah, battery pack voltage adjustment mode, motor position relearn. I got to do the coolant bleeding. I'm gonna do which one. Let's see. Description. This test coolant bleeding. Oh, that's the IPU. So ES coolant air bleeding is for the IPU, which is the battery. See, IPU does it for 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So yeah, I know somebody's gonna ask in the comments, and how much is that battery? I actually just went to the parts department and asked them to see how much that battery is, and that battery is about 10 grand. Just so you know, you guys in the future, 10 years from now, where it needs a battery, this battery I just put in is 10 grand. All right, so that's basically it. All the warning lights on the dash. I did the all sensors learn. There's no more warning for the up in the corner there that was showing before, and now we got a keyless remote battery, so I'll probably throw in a battery in for that, and then I'll throw in the back seat and everything back together, and then I'm gonna go for a test drive. So yeah, just to show you, these EV batteries or these kind of styles where they drop out of the bottom isn't that difficult to change, such as like the Hyundai Konas, I guess the lineup of Hyundais, and I guess this Honda Clarity. So for me now, I know for myself that these batteries are pretty simple to do. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.